Hey everyone, it's Faded Angelos here, coming at you with an update for my Minion guide. So, we left off at where I was about at 40 million DPS. Well, I have boosted it up another 20 million DPS. I have gone back to using Interlocking Souls. I also have added something in my traits class, my trait setup, so I'm going to go over that as well as I've gotten a new piece of gear that has really boosted my damage up. So really quick, let me go over what I've changed in my talent tree. So first and foremost, I'm not using isomorphic arms. Isomorphic arms. Sorry, I botched that up. Instead, I am using Mighty Guard again for the +3 to minion skill levels because of all the flat damage you get for all your skill levels. You should be up to +5 to your minion levels. So that should put you, once you max it out at 20, to 25. So you have a lot of flat damage added with just natural minion levels there. So then from there, I also picked up this talent as well. Is in God of the Machines. There it is. Where I get strength and intelligence, and I'm also scaling minion damage per 50 strength and critical rating per 5 intelligence. So, looking at my stats right now, I'm not getting too much damage from my strength, but I'm getting a lot of scaling from my intelligence. So what I've gotten and the piece of gear that I've changed is I swapped out my helmet for a Fiend Crown. This will cost about 60 Flame Elementiums to about 80 for a low-end one. That isn't really well rolled. You can get up to 10% minus sealed mana, which would be really nice for you, but the real reason we're picking this up is for the minion attack speed and the 107% minion critical strike damage. And then they also get lucky on a critical strike too. So it rolls their attack and it will give us the best outcome of the attack. So that's really nice. And I am using 2 interlocking souls. I've corroded them to give me +30 strength and intelligence on both. And then you obviously want as high as minion damage rolls as you can for that to boost up your minion damage even higher. I have tested this with rolling with the Abyss Crown, rolling with the, or sorry, not the Abyss Crown, the Fiend Crown, rolling with the Abyss Watcher, and the Abyss Watcher does not put out as much DPS as running 2 interlocking souls and using the +3 to minions than using isomorphic arms and using Abyss Watcher, as well as the one I found earlier that I was running for this. This was a good stopgap, the Dangerous Stream, to give you and your minions extra attack speed and critical strike rating. And then the added physical damage as well is really nice. But since your minions are going to always stay at low life, this doesn't keep proccing for you. Like, yes, you can proc it once they gain a 800 life back, so you get the added damage, but it's so small, it really isn't enough. So you're better off benefiting from the flat damage from both of the interlocking souls. Just make sure you get a high eye level interlocking soul so you can roll this to have a lot of energy. Okay? I have also switched one of my buffs to, instead of the physical damage, I switched it over to erosion amplification. So that way we get more erosion damage because we have converted everything 100% to erosion damage for the physical damage for minions. And so that all the minions will get complete benefit from it. So I believe I went over everything I've changed. Let's go ahead and show you the damage numbers you'll be looking at. I have defeated the Time Mark 7 Traveler with this build. I had to grind quite a bit, so I haven't been posting too many videos. As you can see, it's going to still take a second to ramp up, but you will get up to, I got up to 70 million DPS. So it spiked up to 63. It will go up to 72, but just right here, you're going to be sitting at about 67 or 60 to 70 million DPS when the DPS has been spiked. As long as you're keeping your curse on them. But yes, you will have to run a curse for this. We're right there. The highest mark DPS Looks like I'm running 5 million short. I must have rolled lucky on some of my crits before. But you're sitting at 67 million DPS, which is a pretty big bump up from the 40 million DPS we were sitting at using isomorphic arms. So I have been trying with quite a few different builds and quite a few different weapons to try to make isomorphic arms work. It has not been successful. So I have had more luck with just giving the minions flat levels, so they should be at +5. And then where you're going to upgrade from here is there's a pair of boots that you're going to buy that will give you another level to minion skill gems or minion skills, and then it'll also give you +1 maximum synthetic troop. I'll show you which pair of boots it is. We'll go into the auction house. So it's going to be Mind Infusion. So you'll get maximum synthetic troop quantity, and then +1 to minion skill levels, so that'll give you a lot more flat survivability, and then you'll also be looking at about 17,000 armor with just these boots. So you'll have a defensive layer here, and you can get better rolled ones because it can give you a pretty massive amount of percentage gear armor. So this will be a very nice defensive layer for you. But you'll have to shop around for that. This can fluctuate a lot. I think I saw a pair for like 60 Flame Elementium, and obviously they can go up even higher depending on how well the stats rolled. And then another thing you can get, but it's going to cost you a lot more because to get this really well rolled is going to just be a very big time sink. And this would be another final boost to it. And you want an Endless Fortress that gives you maximum synthetic troop quantity in the positive, and then you're just going to capitalize on this right here. 30% more damage when minions have low life, which, since we're using Overload that reduces minion life, they will always have that bonus 30% more damage. So you're going to have that there, as well as, like, let's look at, this gives you 430 maximum energy shield. And then you can get corrosions to where this actually increases up to 40%. So that's a thing, but you have to keep an eye out for this. You don't want to get too many negative synthetic troop quantities, because then you'll just lose out. Alright, so that's where my progression is. I am doing time mark 7 without an issue. I'll go ahead and demonstrate. Yeah, Yep, I'm in the Netherrealm space, so a bunch of added quantity to it, and this will drop Flame Elementium, so that's nice. And we'll go ahead and juice this up even more. Flame Fuel, yes. Alright, here we go. You also just have to be really careful because you're interlocking souls. You're stacking 2 of them, so they do reduce your armor or health quite a bit. As you can see, you will die if you're not careful. I got a little too careless. There's a lot of AoE effects when you're this high up. But you basically let your minions do all the work. Get away from the AoE effects. Make sure Overload is up so they get the maximum damage boost. There are a lot of minions here, so you're going to have, if you're using the map system correctly, you should be stacking a lot of quant into your maps, as well as drop rate and drop rarity. So you should have a ton of mobs in your maps to go ahead and get drops off of. Yep, see, I got too careless. I got caught in a corner. They killed me. But since you are using so many legendaries, you're going to have to be really careful about how you take a look at your resistances. I'm not resistance capped on everything. I don't even think I have one element I'm resistance capped on, to be completely honest. But I've traded that out for getting 20 million damage. So you just have to make sure you adopt a more defensive playstyle. May involve you dodging a lot more with Leap Slam. So you just need to be careful of that. But when you're this high of a level, leveling isn't really something you should be pretty close to done with your what you can expect of your passive talent tree. So dying and losing EXP here shouldn't be that big of an issue for you. This should just be you're trying to get drops and Flame Elementium to buy and increase your DPS limit. And something blew up there I didn't even see. Oh, see, it blew up there again. And I jumped into it. That's why I don't like Leap Slam sometimes, because it will automatically sometimes target an enemy instead of just Leap Slamming in the direction of your cursor. So that's sometimes fun. Okay. Don't know why I didn't want to pick that up. Okay. And we gotta go around. Some reason the checkpoint they pushed me all the way back on. So that's a bunch more flame sand for me. Like I said, you're just gonna have to use your Leap Slam more defensively. But you should be fine as long as you play correctly. Unlike me, I was a bad example this time around. But you can go Glass Cannon, have your minions just mow everything down like they are right now. I haven't tried the time mark 8 bosses yet. Still working on that. But I defeated the time mark 7 Traveler after switching over to this build. This variation of the build, I guess I should say. And then gotta throw another one out. Since I have so much quant, I can just keep doing this over and over, or spawning these to get more and more drops. And keep going. Have to throw another turret out. Another core. Thank goodness there's no accessories one, because those spawn the nether realm creatures that make shields. And that's always a pain for projectile builds. And since you're running 2 interlocking souls and minions have so much HP, they should be regenerating quite a good chunk of HP per second. So you shouldn't have to worry about them dying too much unless they get caught and get hit by like multiple AoEs and like a dot under their feet and stuff too. There's Ouroboros. There you go. That's my update for my minion build. It is doing T8 or time mark 8 perfectly fine. Yeah, you're gonna die a little bit because I am squish. Running 2 interlocking souls, you are really squishy when you have to summon minions, but usually you don't have to summon them after the beginning. So if you just want to wait a second, because if you're following my guide, you should have regeneration as well as running regeneration as one of your auras. Then you can go ahead and just make sure you're full HP and plow through the map. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. If you found this guide helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. You guys take care.